Okay, I'll call this meeting of the Westland City Council to order. We begin tonight with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilman Jim Godbout.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Mr. Clerk, roll call.
Thank you. I'd ask folks to confirm their location by stating the county, municipality, and state where they're seated at this point. Councilman Godbout.
Attending the meeting virtually from Wayne County, Westland, Michigan.
Thank you. Councilwoman Green.
Attending remotely in Wayne County, Westland, Michigan.
Thank you. Councilman Hersberg.
Here, attending remotely from Wayne County, Westland, Michigan.
Thank you. Pro Tem Londo.
Good evening. I'm present and I'm attending this public meeting remotely from Wayne County, Westland, Michigan.
Thank you. Councilman McDermott.
Present, attending the meeting from Wayne County, Westland, Michigan.
Thank you. Councilwoman Workowski.
Good evening. I'm present and attending this meeting remotely from Wayne County, Westland, Michigan.
Thank you. And President Hart.
Thank you. Attending remotely from Westland, Wayne County, Michigan.
Thank you. A quorum is present.
Okay, special presentations and announcements tonight. I have two. First is a legislative update from State Representative Kevin Coleman. Kevin, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can. Go ahead.
Hey, thank you, City Council. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, members of the administration. I appreciate you taking the time to allow me to join you tonight for a quick legislative update. I'm actually attending from Westland as well. We are in Lansing this week because there were some threats to the state capitol, so session was canceled and delayed so that we'd be working from home this week. But I will be in Lansing on your behalf next week, and I just want to say, since this is the first time I've attended since the fall election, I want to thank the community for re-electing me to serve as your state representative. This is the beginning of my third year as your state rep, and I couldn't be more honored to serve you and represent you in Lansing. So I really appreciate that. I do want to start off this brief update with some good news. The state had its consensus revenue estimating conference last Friday. This estimates the sources of revenue that we have available for the rest of the fiscal year. We did have a little bit of a better estimate than we expected in the fall. So it's about $1.2 billion more than we thought we would be having for this fiscal year. Although it's with the COVID effect on revenue, on tax revenue, things are still quite down. So the kind of the bleak outlook that we had as far as the money going to cities and revenue sharing and our state budget, we had a lot of concerns, but we did have some good news in the last week. So I just wanted to share that with you. And the way it's broken up is the general fund is the estimate is $701 million higher than it was expected. And then the school aid fund is $528 million higher than expected. So what we're hoping is as we move forward with the governor and the Senate and leadership up in Lansing, I want to make sure, and my main focus is that the revenue sharing to cities like Westland and Wayne, which I represent, we want to make sure that any cuts, hopefully there's no cuts, but any cuts to revenue sharing, hopefully they'll be minimal. And then the same goes for our school system. And as we know, our school system, school aid funding took a big hit under the last governor, Governor Snyder, and we've been working very hard to make up for that. I was pleased that over the last couple of years, we were able to add $4 million in new annual revenue to our Wayne Westland schools. So that was probably the biggest accomplishment of our office and during my time here in the State House. So I'm going to work very hard to protect those things on your behalf. And in other news, the governor today did announce a $2 billion COVID relief plan. Now, a lot of the money for this plan is coming from the federal government, but some of that will have to be approved by the legislature. $2 billion of the plan would go towards schools, and then 225 million more would go towards business support programs. There's a lot of grant funding available for businesses that were affected by the COVID shutdowns and any employees of those businesses. But there's a lot of deadlines involved in that funding. And what I want to ask anybody who's listening to do, if you are interested, if your business was affected or if you were affected personally by the shutdowns and you're interested in trying to get a hold of some of this grant money, please contact our office. The phone number for our office is 517-373-2576. Again, 517-373-2576. And our email is kevincoleman@house.michigan.gov. There's a whole lot of other issues coming through, but I won't belabor those. But I just wanted to let you know that I'm working hard on your behalf. I want to thank all the city officials on the call tonight for your service. I've been paying close attention to what's going on in Westland. I do want to commend the administration on the Martin Luther King Day ceremony yesterday. I thought the pre-recorded format was well done and represented our city well. So thank you for that. And lastly, I'll just thank North Brothers Ford. I did see that they made a generous donation to our youth assistant program. Our youth assistance program is something that was very important to me as well. So thank you, North Brothers, for doing that. And then if any of the council members or the administration has any questions, I'm always available. I'll offer my cell phone number to any constituents or anybody who wants to contact me personally. My phone number is 734-751-6321. 734-751-6321. Thank you, Council President. I appreciate the time.
Thank you, Representative Coleman. Next, we have Hassan Saab. I believe you have some special presentations today.
Thank you, Council President Hart. We have a presentation today for the holiday contest. Each holiday season, we initiate a holiday decorating contest. This is done to recognize our residents who go above and beyond to decorate their homes and to make their neighborhood beautiful during the holiday season. This year, the contest ran from Thanksgiving Day to the end of December. We are proud to say that we had many great submissions, so choosing the winners this time was a bit harder than usual. We have one winner for each of the following category: traditional, most creative, and over the top. So on behalf of the city administration, I'm pleased to announce this evening that the winner for the traditional category is Miss Carol McCarthy. As you can see on the screen, Miss McCarthy has decorated her home beautifully. And for that, her efforts are recognized with a certificate from the city administration signed by the mayor to remind her of the good work she's done. Next, we have our most creative category. This is actually, that goes to the guy or the homeowners that choose to decorate their homes in an unusual and beautiful way. And I'm pleased to announce that the winner for this category are Mr. and Miss Aaron and Alexis Green. They live on Palmer Road, and I'm pleased to announce that they done a beautiful job decorating their house. The final category is over the top. And obviously, as you can tell, these homeowners went way over the top to make sure their house looked really beautiful. And I'm pleased to announce that the winner for this category is Mr. Matthew Sotella. Mr. Sotella lives on Gary Avenue, and for his efforts, we are pleased to announce that a certificate will be mailed to his address with signature of Mayor Wild to remind them of how beautiful their home was during that season and how great their efforts are appreciated. So we thank each and everyone who submitted a submission on behalf of themselves or on behalf of their neighbors. but this is a great example of how people can do extra steps and take extra steps to make sure their home look beautiful and their neighborhood looks great. Congratulations to every one of them, and we wish to continue with the tradition of making sure that our residents keep Westland a beautiful city. Thanks.
Thank you, Hassan. Thank you, Hassan, and thank you to the three folks that won. We appreciate all the hard work. So I guess the council, if you want to give them a round of applause remotely, if you could. And I know you couldn't hear that, but it was really loud at my house, so I'm sure it was loud everywhere else too. So thank you to the residents for putting that loud work. Hopefully next year we'll have you out there too, and it can be in person in City Hall and a little bit more fanfare to go with it, but thank you. With that, we'll move into questions or input on the agenda from the public. This section will allow a person to be recognized only at the beginning of the meeting to address the council pertaining to items that are specifically on the business agenda at the meeting. Questions asked will be answered during the agenda item following a motion and support from the council. Questions asked may be responded to during the agenda item following a motion support from council. With that, are there any questions or input from the public? Second call, any questions or input from the public? Seeing none, I'll close that and we'll move into the consent calendar. Is there a motion?
So moved. Londo.
Support Hersberg.
I have a motion by Councilman Londo, supported by Councilman Hersberg. Is there any discussion?
Not for me.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Godbout. You're muted, sir.
Yes.
Councilman Godbout. Thank you.
Yes.
Councilwoman Green.
Yes.
Councilman Hersberg.
Yes.
Pro Tem Londo.
Yes.
Councilman McDermott.
yes,
Councilwoman Rakowski.
yes,
President Hart.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. Council has adopted or approved the following consent calendar items. Approval of minutes of the regular meeting held January 4, 2021. Approval of minutes of study session held January 4, 2021. Introduction of ordinance 248A102, an ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances of the City of Westland by amending section 110.9.4 of Article 16 of Chapter 110, entitled CB1 Low Intensity Commercial Business District. Approval of farmers market artisan market fee schedule of changes as follows. Charge $75 per hour for both weekday and weekend events. Eliminate the 20% off total discounts offering. Fix the deposit amount to accurately reflect the $100 deposit for a farmer's market rental. Eliminate the separate table and chair use fee of $125 and include it within the standard farmer's market rental package. Eliminate the separate patio use fee of $50 and include it within the standard farmer's market rental package. And finally, regarding that item, reduce the farmer's market AV system rental charge to $30 per hour flat fee, which would match the City Hall audio fee. Approval of allocation of water and sewer funds to support a water storage facility study with Orchard Hills and McClimate. The associated fees shall not exceed $12,500. And the final item approved on the consent calendar, approval of 2020 Planning Commission Annual Report. Moving to new business, item 1. Confirmation of appointment of Delano Hornbuckle to the Westland Planning Commission to fill an unexpired term with the term to expire September 17, 2021.
So moved Hersberg.
I have a motion by Councilman Godbout, supported by Councilman Hersberg.
Sure.
Is there any discussion? Mayor, did you have anything to add?
Yeah, just real quick. Thank you, City Council. So Mr. Hornbuckle currently serves on the Michigan MSB Board and the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. If Council moves forward on his appointment tonight. He'll be resigning both of those positions and starting immediately on a planning commission. Mr. Hornbuckle served well on another boards and commissions in the city. He's a family man. He's got a great work ethic. His specialty is in the IT field, and he's been a great addition to every board that he served on so far. So that's all we have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Is there any other discussion from the council? Roll call.
Councilman Godbout,
Yes.
Councilwoman Green,
Yes.
Councilman Hersberg,
Yes.
Pro Tem Londo,
Yes.
Councilman McDermott,
yes,
Councilwoman Rakowski,
yes,
President Hart.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. New business, item 2, confirmation of reappointment of Gail Nicholson to the William P. Faust Public Library of Westland for a 3-year term with the term to expire February 6, 2026.
so moved. McDermott,
Support Londo.
Have a motion by Councilman McDermott, supported by Councilman Londo. Mayor, do you have anything to add to that?
Just real quick, Council, we appreciate Ms. Nicholson's, her ongoing work on the William P. Faust Public Library. This would be for a new 5-year term, and she's done a great job, and we really appreciate, she's really kind of stepped into a leadership role on the library board, and she's got a great working relationship with the interim director and the entire staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Any other discussion from the council? All right, seeing none, roll call.
As I ask roll call, thank you, Mayor, for pointing out this is a 5-year term. My paperwork was incorrect, but it did state the final date of expiration. Councilman Godbout,
Yes.
Councilwoman Green,
Yes.
Councilman Hersberg,
Yes.
Pro Tem Londo,
Yes.
Councilman McDermott,
yes,
Councilwoman Rakowski,
yes,
President Hart.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. New business, item 3, approval of proposed land division and combination of 2 parcels, south side of Ann Arbor Trail, east side of Merriman. This is Planning Department number 1051H. The Planning Commission recommends approval, subject to the required variances being granted by the Zoning Board of Appeals, and if approved, further directs the city attorney to draft the required land division resolution.
So moved Londo.
support Rutkowski,
All right, a motion by Councilman Londell, supported by Councilman Rakowski. Mo, do you have, can you walk us through this?
Yes, sir. Good evening, Council President. Good evening, City Council members. Let me share my screen real quick. All right, so this property here is located on the corner of Middle Belt and Ann Arbor Trail, the southeast corner. The overall property comprises of about 5 acres and is currently zoned CV1. That's our low intensity commercial district. As you probably know, the site is developed with the old Arbor Town Square Shopping Center that used to house a Sears hardware supplies building over here where my cursor is at. The petitioner proposes a combination of these 2 parcels that exist today, sort of in this fashion, and a division that will combine the existing parcels and simultaneously split them into 3 separate parcels. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. All 3 proposed parcels will exceed the minimum lot area and the minimum lot width requirements. However, because of the existing buildings, there are some setback variances that will be required, and those can only be approved by the zoning board. The petitioner has already applied to visit the zoning board in February. Let me show you what these parcels will look like. This is just an outline of the building footprints as they exist today. So while I'm on this, I want to share with you that this is paving the way to reoccupy this entire site, including the former Burger King and including this building here, which I think at the last moment in time of its occupancy involved a dry cleaning business, I believe. So We've been in discussions with them. This started as an enforcement activity about a year ago, maybe even longer than that before my time. And we're working on a couple different proposals to be determined. There's no development for this at the moment, or occupancy rather. And there is someone going through the process right now that will be visiting you next month to occupy this as a smoking lounge, more so as a hookah lounge. There's a ton of them in Dearborn and Dearborn Heights. We do not have any in town, so this will be our first one. Again, that'll be a separate case and matter with you next month. This is what the parcels will look like. These are the setback non-compliance issues here. I can go over those if you would like me to, but these are what the parcels will look like. So one parcel for this large building, one parcel for the Burger King, and one parcel for this small building here. On record, in my records anyways, I have a collective shared easement for utilities, parking, and all other sorts of things that will be commonly shared and maintained by all three owners, whoever they may be in the future. Happy to answer any questions about any of this. Actually, I'm sorry. The Planning Commission had a meeting about this January 5th, and they are recommending approval to you. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mo. Is there any discussion from the maker, Councilman Londo?
Yeah, just briefly, I just want to thank Mo for taking the time last week to speak with me. I did watch the Planning Commission meeting, and I'm excited to see some development on that corner. I know being in those neighborhoods over the years and speaking with residents, that was something that they really wanted to see was more economic development on that end of town. That's hearing that all those parcels are going to be filled is fantastic news. So I will be in support, and I want to thank the administration for bringing it forward and the petitioner as well.
Thank you. Is there any discussion from the supporter, Councilwoman Rakowski?
Thank you. I'm just looking forward to that corner being developed again. It's been a long time coming, and I know the residents are looking forward to it getting a makeover. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion from the council? Councilman Hertzberg.
Thank you, Council President, and just want to echo the comments of Councilman Londo and Councilwoman Rutkowski. This one's a long time, really long time coming. You know, it's hard to do this owner a favor when there's been ordinance complaints. There's been a total lack of maintenance at that property for the last 5 to 7 years. So, I mean, putting that aside, I hope that this item does pave the way for some sort of development. At the Planning Commission meeting, there was some talk about a hookah lounge / pizza place. I guess through the chair to whoever can answer, will something like that have to come back before council if any business wants to move in? Will those be coming back, or would they just be able to open up? My main concern here is that you cannot have smoking indoors, something that's open to the public, and serve food. So that's not a legal business model that was stated at the Planning Commission meeting. So I'm just wondering if those types of things are going to come back or not. And then I see Mo's listening. And then the only other question I have is the two larger parcels that we're going to be creating. What happens if somebody buys, let's say, the easternmost parcel and wants to demolish it? How's that going to affect the overall building? I'm not sure if you can touch on that a little bit. And actually, one more thing, the correction on item 3 on our agenda, it should say east of Middle Belt Road. So Mo, if you can touch on any of that, I'd appreciate it. If you want me to repeat it, I'm happy to.
Mo, are you able to address the councilman's questions?
Yes, so there shall be no indoor food service and preparation inside of a smoking lounge. Food eating is permitted, but there can be no food service, wait staff, preparation. It's a gray area. I have a really good connection at the state of Michigan. Actually, the guy that licenses all of the hookah lounges in the state, there's only one person, believe it or not, that does it in the state. And I worked with them in my time in Dearborn, opening up 11 hookah lounges. So this is going to follow the same model. The special land use that will be in front of the Planning Commission and yourself will be conditioned upon obtaining the state hookah. Actually, they call it a state tobacco exemption. So before the applicant or business owner is able to get a C of O, he will have to get that exemption from the state of Michigan. I think that answers question one. Question two, what if the building incorporating the former Sears hardware building was to be demolished? How would that impact the remaining 2 parcels that are proposed? I mean, the future owner can demolish those buildings, but as it relates to parking areas, lights, utilities, shared access in terms of curb cuts and trash dumpster and things like that, those will all have to stay the same, or if modified, be modified in a way that's approved by the city to ensure that they are still in place and accessible for the other 2 parcels. I think that answers the second question. On the third item, yeah, the agenda item is wrong. Okay.
Okay, so thanks for clarifying that. They'll have to come back through a special land use. And yeah, I'm familiar with the one in Dearborn. I think the way they get kind of a loophole through there is that they have 2 separate addresses, one serving food, one as the hookah lounge, and they have kind of a hole in the middle of the building where they would technically deliver carry out to the lounge. So I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention, and thanks, Mo, for touching on those questions.
Thank you both. Are there any other discussion from the council? Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Godbout,
Yes.
Councilwoman Green,
Yes.
Councilman Hersberg,
Yes.
Pro Tem Londo,
Yes.
Councilman McDermott,
yes,
Councilwoman Rakowski,
Yes.
President Hart.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. New business, item 4. Hope I get these streets right. Approval of proposed land division and combination of 7 parcels on the east side of Carlson between Ford and Stacy. This is Planning Department number 2245. Planning Commission recommends approval, and if approved, further directs the city attorney to draft the required land division resolution.
So moved. Hersberg.
Support Rutkowski.
We have a motion by Councilman Hersberg, supported by Councilwoman Rakowski. Mo? You're muted, Mo. We
Sorry
can't hear
about
you.
Yep, I was just trying to share my screen. I'm sorry. Give me one moment. All right. The subject site here consists of 7 parcels. They're outlined in yellow on the screen. Some are vacant, and a couple of them, maybe 3 of them here, have a single-family residence on them. I'm calling it a site. So the site is located on the east side of Carlson between Ford and Stacy. All of these parcels incorporating the site are zoned R5 single-family residential. The applicant is on the call and is proposing to combine these 7 parcels and in a similar way to the last one, split them into 3 conforming parcels. One of the parcels will incorporate the home as is, and then 2 of the remaining parcels will be developed for single-family residential. They will be in compliance with all of the minimum requirements for a buildable parcel as it relates to the zoning ordinance. And this is what the parcels will look like. Parcel C is the existing residence, and then these are 2 vacant parcels. Planning Commission heard this on January 5th and is also recommending approval. Happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
All right, Mo, you said the petitioner's on the call today. Do they have anything to add? What was her name?
Connie's on the call. I think I did a pretty good job of explaining what's going on. She wants to say hi. You let her or
I'm looking for the name. You said Connie?
It's CGLADKI. Gladkey.
I see.
I did a pretty good job.
Connie, I don't know if you don't have anything to add, just say that's all good. I saw you're on the call, so I give you the opportunity to add anything.
Hello, and that is fine. And I'd like to at least say thank you to Mo and the committee the planning committee for walking through the process and helping me fill out the paperwork and all that kind of fun stuff. It was a learning curve for me. So thank you very much, Mo.
All right, thanks, Connie. Let's give the council an opportunity to talk here. So is there any discussion from the maker, Councilman Hersberg?
Nope, I watched the planning commission. I heard her comments there, and good luck with your project.
All right, any discussion from the supporter, Councilman Orkowski?
No, I echo Councilman Hersberg. It was enough information at the meeting. Thank you.
All right, is there any other discussion from the council? Any other discussion from the council? All right, roll call.
Councilman Godbout,
Yes.
Councilwoman Green,
Yes.
Councilman Hersberg,
Yes.
Pro Tem Londo,
Yes.
Councilman McDermott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rakowski,
Yes.
President Hart.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, Connie, thank you much for your time and congratulations. If you need anything else, you know how to get a hold of Mo. So,
New business, item 5, approval of site plan and special land use for proposed outdoor recreational vehicle storage. 2 parcels on the south side of Manufacturers Drive, north of the railroad. This is Planning Department number 2246. Planning Commission recommends approval with the condition that the operating conditions listed in section 110(9.7.7 of the Westland zoning ordinance are complied with for the life of the self-storage facility.
So moved, Londo.
motion by Councilman Londo. Is there support?
Support McDermott.
Supported by Councilman McDermott. Mo?
Thank you. While I'm putting this up on the screen, I do want to warn you that this is a little bit longer than the other 2. It's all good information though, and I will try to be as quick as possible. The project site here consists of 2 parcels outlined in yellow on your screen, which make up of about 10.5 acres. The site is located at the south end of Manufacturers Drive, where it comes to a dead end here near the railroad. The property is zoned I-1. That's our light industrial zoning district, and is currently undeveloped and wooded. The petitioner today is proposing a 2-phase project. Phase 1, which is the discussion and request to approve tonight. Phase 1 is to construct an outdoor recreational vehicle storage facility. This requires special land use and site plan approval. Just a quick piece of information from our master plan. The future land use designation for this parcel is industrial. And I'm going to talk about the outdoor recreational vehicle storage facility as it relates to the site plan really quickly. The outdoor storage facility for RVs will contain 128 parking spaces, paved with asphalt material. There are 2 entrance and exit gates, I believe in this area and in this area, to access the RV storage spaces, which are these areas here. This is the asphalt material for access in drive aisles. There is a large detention pond to the northeast of the site that is appropriately sized and in compliance with Wayne County's stormwater ordinance. The petitioner has included significant landscaping plan in the package that you received that shows 304 trees and large shrubs around the entire site. Probably the most important element of site planning this use in this area, because of the residential along this boundary here to the east, was this landscaping element that you see. So the city and the petitioner work together. There's really 2 ways to screen the residential, either through a wall or through landscaping. We decided that landscaping would be the best option. Not only just landscaping in general, but landscaping in the way that you see it here, a staggered tree line, because the residents already have established fences, and 2, because once this landscaping is grown, it provides additional privacy, and also the big thing, also mitigates the noise from the RV vehicles when they're being parked or turned on. So that is the reason for this landscaping plan, incorporating 304 trees, which seems excessive, but but warranted for the nearby residential. Want to talk a little bit about the industrial building here. The applicant planned the layout. I don't anticipate that it will change for the 10,000 square foot building. It incorporates parking in compliance with the zoning ordinance and setbacks as well. The petitioner did not have elevation drawings in time for this meeting and asked that he delay phase 2 for a different time. So he will be visiting you for site plan approval at a later time for this industrial building, but it is shown and you will know what it is about when it comes before you again. The Planning Commission held a meeting on January 5th and heard this project. There were a couple of residents that attended. One who I briefly spoke to before the meeting was concerned about flooding, was concerned about privacy. I explained the landscaping plan to him and he was happy and okay with it. He still attended the meeting for informational purposes. The flooding concern was also eliminated by the detention pond that's on site, which should eliminate any stormwater runoff from this site onto adjacent residential. I did tell the 2 residents that any stormwater events that flood their properties today, the development of this property will not eliminate any issues that are solely on their property. And the other applicant, we went back and forth a little bit with him and the Planning Commission as well. And I think he was satisfied with the answers. I'm not sure if any of the residents are in attendance today, but I do know the petitioner is. That's all I got. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Mo. Did the petitioner have anything to add? Mo, did the petitioner have anything to add? You said they're on the call.
I'm sorry, I don't know. I hope not. I think I went into everything that you needed to say, architecturally speaking. I know the architect's on there.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and move into the comments from the council real quick. So from the maker, it was supported by Councilman Londo. Is there any discussion?
Just briefly, I had most of my questions answered by Mo. So again, thanks Mo for meeting with me last week. I did have one resident contact me, actually saw me at the gym and talked to me. He lives right behind there, but his property won't be affected. He's a little bit further down, but he was happy to see some development there. And thanks again, Mo, for the explanation and the great detailed description. Thanks.
All right. Is there any discussion from Councilman McDermott?
Yeah, just briefly, thank you. Just wanted to say thank you to the petitioner for developing this property and also for the commitment to putting up the landscaping barrier. I think that going with the natural barrier, the trees, the shrubbery versus just the wall is good. And I think it's something that's going to make residents satisfied over there as well. So thank you for your investment in the city. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Councilman. Is there any other discussion from the council? Councilman Herzberg. Councilman Herzberg, did you have something to add or no?
Yeah, I got an issue here. I don't know if you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay, then I'll go. First, I'll thank the petitioner for bringing this project forward. I think there's definitely a demand in town for something like this. Knowing people that have RVs and things like that, it's kind of difficult to find a good and nice place to keep it safely. Regarding the flooding issues, through the chair to Mo, did you mention that there already is a detention pond in place? Or they were going to build one?
They will be required to build one for the development of the property.
Okay, so that should take care of the flooding. I misheard you. I thought there was already a detention pond and they were already experiencing some flooding. I was concerned about that getting worse with paving. So it sounds like a good plan to me. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilman. Is there any other discussion from the council? All right, roll call.
Councilman Godbout,
Yes.
Councilwoman Green,
Yes.
Councilman Herzberg,
Yes.
Pro Tem Lando,
Yes.
Councilman McDermott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rakowski,
Yes.
President Hart.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. New business, item 6, approval of voucher.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
I have a
Councilman
motion by
Godbout.
Councilman Godbout. Is there support?
Support, Londo.
Supported by Councilman Londo. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Godbout,
Yes.
Councilwoman Green,
Yes.
Councilman Hersberg,
Yes.
Pro Tem Londo,
Yes.
Councilman McDermott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rakowski,
Yes.
President Hart.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
We now move into comments from the public. Everyone speaking before the council should do so in a civil manner. Speakers shall refrain from abusive or profane remarks, vulgar language, disruptive outbursts, threats, racial slurs, or any other conduct that interferes with the orderly conduct of the business meeting. Personal attacks on council members, the administration, city staff, other speakers, or members of the public will not be tolerated. The clock will start upon the first words of the speaker and will not stop while the speaker is recognized from the floor. It is the speaker's option to ask questions at this time, and the person questioned may choose to respond during the speaker's allotment of time. The clock will not be stopped once it's started. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak? I have Mr. Asper. You there?
Hello, good evening, council. Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yep.
Hi, good evening. I wanted to touch on something I brought to everyone's attention about, it was the last in-person city council meeting we had. I had brought up this Westland Cares rental assistance program. I said the money that was still in the program and everything else. Now, Joanne Campbell, who is the housing director and is in charge of this, she actually just came back from her second vacation and anyway, I had many of my tenants apply for this. Just the communication, the speed of communication, it'll be weeks before they hear back from her. I will actually have to get involved, which I shouldn't even have to do. I'm the landlord. And I had an eviction last week, and they were trying to get help from Joanne Campbell. So this is a problem. She has an assistant. I don't understand, but I would just like for her to expedite it more quickly as opposed to waiting weeks, because people don't have that sort of time. Second, touch. I'm not really going to bring up the Humane Society. I will let you know that I still have not received my FOIA. The FOIA I originally submitted, I believe it was December 22nd, if I remember correctly, the 22nd or 23rd. I still have not received it. And then my last thing, so Westland court officer is Marty Reddy. He has a high cost. It's $600 for a 2-bedroom, which is pretty high, but that's not what I'm going to touch on. The workers that Mr. Reddy gets, I believe, because one of the workers told me, they're from the 18th District Court. This is part of their, I guess, community service. Now, evicting people from their homes, I don't consider community service, especially when the property owner is paying for this to him directly, and he is then turning around and putting that money into his bank account because it's made payable to his LLC. It's like owning a McDonald's again, free labor. I don't think it's right. I don't even know if it's legal, but yeah, I guess that's it. Have a good evening, guys, and females, women.
All right, thank you. Next, I have Miss Denise Sedman. Denise, are you there?
Yes, hi.
Hi, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to know if we have like an anticipated date for when we are going to start zoning and putting in place some of the weed shops. There's a weed shop over on Michigan Avenue, right by, Newburgh. Cherry Hill? Yeah. Anyway, it's either at Cherry Hill or Newburgh and Ford, and it's called Wayne Relief, and it's really, really close. And I think there's going to be people that will get used to going to a certain place and steal some business that the city could have because it's really convenient. And then the other thing too is I'm disappointed. I've said this again, saying this again because I had sent a email to Peter Hertzberg, and he did not respond to me, like he did not respond to a previous email I had said. And the reason I had contacted him is he was talking about limiting what we could and what we could not sell at the weed shop. And I think that's pretty much regulated by the state about what we can sell. So I'd like to see some progress on that for the community benefit. I've seen people post on Nextdoor Digest, where can I get weed? And so this old lady wants her weed, I guess. I'm just kidding. Thank you, everybody.
Peter, I see you have your hand up in response. You have a minute 30 remaining, so.
Minute 30? Okay, Ms. Stedman, I didn't email you back because I planned on addressing it in my closing comments tonight, because basically your email kind of told me I didn't explain my position thoroughly at the last meeting. So I will address that at the end of the meeting. Thanks.
Thank you, Peter. All right, are there any other comments from the public? Any other comments from the public? All right, seeing none, we'll move to comments from the administration. Begin tonight with the mayor. Mayor?
All right, well, thank you, City Council. There was some comments from the audience as far as from the gentleman that said he was having issue working with Joanne to get Federal CARES Act money for his tenants. Joanne is working with them, and Council Joanne actually sent me an update on that situation earlier today. So what I'll do is I'll have Joanne forward that to you in the morning, and there's a breakdown by each individual tenant and where they're at in the process. And some have been awarded, some there's still documentation that needs to be received, but it is a federal program, so there's a lot of boxes that have to be checked. But I'll send you guys that email in the morning so you can kind of see where we're at. A few things here. I believe that the state representative was referring to this grant earlier, but there is a Michigan Small Business Survival Grant Program that opened up today at 9 o'clock, and Westland businesses that have experienced a significant hardship due to the recent COVID-19 orders, they're eligible, and our economic development department will certainly help. You got to work quick on this one because it opened up today at 9 a.m., but it closes at noon on Friday. So the turnaround on this one's really tough. There's grants of up to $20,000 for businesses that are fully closed, and grants of up to $15,000 for businesses that are partially closed. So Council, maybe through some of your communications, we'll get this out in the city's social media tomorrow. Maybe you can help us get it out to the business community because the turnaround is really quick. There's also another new grant that our economic development department can help with. And this is for, it's an employee assistance grant. And this one you have a little bit longer, but it's only till January 25th, which is about a week from now. And you can apply for up to $1,650 in assistance. In order to qualify, you must work in a restaurant, a hotel, a motel, a bed and breakfast, resort, bar, food truck, bowling alley, theater, nightclub, golf course, banquet hall, caterer, casino, cafeteria, or other impacted industries. So this is something that is actually eligible to the employees. So once again, this is something that our economic development department can help with, and we'll get information out on this tomorrow too. With some of the restrictions being lifted by the governor in the last week, Joe Burton at the ice arena has opened the Mike Modano Arena for open skating. That there's 2 times weekly on Sundays from 1:30 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and Friday evening from 8 p.m. to 9:30. The capacity is limited to the first 30 skaters, and masks are required at all times. Council, there's going to be a lot of city meetings coming up, and while we're working virtually tonight, the other city meetings will be virtually as well. And on the new website, we have an agenda of all the upcoming meetings, and you'll be able to use that agenda, or you'll be able to use that to help log on to those different meetings. Reminder, there will be a strategic planning session with the administration and city council on January 30th We'll have more information coming out on this with an agenda here, hopefully later this week. The focus is going to be on finances. It is open to the public. It will be virtual as well. The Jefferson Barnes Community Vitality Center has opened their library on Wednesdays from 3 o'clock to 7 p.m. and the programs are all still free. There are 2 upcoming commodities distributions scheduled at the Jefferson Barnes Community Center. One will be this Friday, January 22nd, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And next Tuesday, January 26th, Gleaners will be distributing free food from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Reminder that there's still free COVID testing on behalf of Wayne County in the Friendship Center parking lot. That's open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The library continues with their phase reopening. The current phase is number 2, which includes online and outdoor programs. There is still limited building access, occupancy, and computer access, but you may now borrow wireless hotspots, browse and check out new and popular materials. There is one 30-minute computer session each day that also gives you access to printing and photocopying. So if you'd like more information, check out the City of Westland's library website. Thank you, Council, for moving forward on the reappointment of Gail Nicholson to the Library Board, the new appointment to Delana Hornbuckle for the Planning Commission, and for all of the residents that were recognized in the holiday decorating contest. And Council, we will be mailing out those certificates, and typically we try to include the council and the clerk in those certificates. So we'll hold a little bit to mail those out, and we'll work with the council leadership and the clerk to try to get something included in that from the council and clerk. Get something that I think it's on behalf of the entire city that like us has worked together on. Then the last real couple of things is thanks for coming in early tonight for the audit and the second quarter update. Westland did receive a very clean audit this year with an unmodified opinion from the auditors, which is the highest rating that the city can get. Craig Brown already has that thing on the cityofwestland.com website. So if you get bored later tonight, you can certainly take a quick read through the city's audit. We did receive word from Jim Reidner today that Nankin Transit, as most of you know at this point, there was a fire in their parking lot and they lost 6 of their buses over the weekend. By working with SMART, they did take, I think, a delivery of 3 buses today, and they had 3 new buses that were scheduled to come in. So at this point, ridership's down a little bit anyway. So Mr. Reidner says that there will be no delay in working with the residents there. So then the last thing is, as was mentioned earlier, just hats off to the whole WLND team. Craig Welcome back and his team for putting together what I thought was a very well kind of look back at the city of Westland's MLK celebrations over the years. There were, some old messages that still ring true today, and we heard from a lot of our federal and state officials and some comments that really, especially the federal officials, that were able to kind of talk about some of the things that they witnessed in the last week or so in the nation's capital. That is going to be continuing to play all week long on WLND. And of course, you can watch it at any time on the City of Westland's YouTube channel. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Anything from the attorney's office today?
Thank you, Council President. I just want to encourage folks to keep working on making arrangements to get their COVID vaccine shot. I recently had my first shot. It's fairly simple to do, but hard to get scheduled. And I would remind the many veterans that are in the city of Westland that VA is also scheduling you for COVID vaccine shots. And if you go to va.gov, right there on the home page, there's a click through that will get you to their COVID vaccine website, and you can possibly line up a vaccine shot through the VA. And I encourage everybody to find a way to get the shot and beat back this problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. We'll start council comments tonight. Councilman Hersberg.
Thank you, Council President Hart. I'll start by congratulating Delano on your appointment. Thanks once again for stepping up. Good luck on Planning Commission. I'm sure it's going to be quite different than your role in the Parks area. And I look forward to the mayor bringing somebody forward to fill those seats as soon as possible. I know that all of us made a deep effort to try to get all the boards and commissions filled, and I just want to make sure that we keep that up and keep them filled. And also congratulations to Gail Nicholson. Keep up the good work on the library. Ms. Sedman, yeah, I plan on responding to you tonight. Last meeting, I talked a little bit about marijuana edibles that'll be on the shelves in some of the stores. Maybe I misspoke. I was really only referring to the style of products that they're going to have on the shelf. And unfortunately, the city can't do anything about it. The city attorney sent an email recently to council citing some state law, and it's really out of our hands. But the gist of it, I do have a problem with companies making these edible products, and they're making it in these colorful packaging. They're gummy bears. They're different things that where if it's sitting on the counter at home and a small child walks by, they would look at that product and say, hey, this is for kids. So I do have some concerns with the looks of the products only, just to clarify that. And I'll be sending that out to perhaps State Representative Coleman or whoever might be able to improve the process at the state level, because I think something does need to be done about that. I've looked at different states and their laws, and they did address it. Unfortunately, I haven't found anything under Michigan law that talks about that issue specifically. And Ms. Sedman, if you ever want to give me a call, my cell phone number is 734-578-3412. That was the only email that I saw that I didn't respond to you. I didn't see any other ones. And the only reason I didn't respond is because I spoke about it publicly, and obviously you and others heard it. I wanted to give that response publicly as well. So with that, I'll see you all in 2 weeks. Thanks.
Thank you. Next, I have Councilman Green.
Thank you. I'd like to start tonight by notifying our community that our Wayne County Executive Warren Evans in addition to the 20,000 disposable masks, that he donated to the citizens of Westland. He had the County of Wayne, under his leadership, has also donated 50,000 cloth and washable masks to the residents of Westland. And so those are immediately available. If you would like to utilize those, feel free to either contact the mayor's office. If you are disabled or a senior citizen that is unable to leave your home due to the pandemic or what have you, to safely obtain masks, as I've stated multiple months, you can give me a call at area code 734-828-7010, and I will personally do a doorstep delivery of the cloth washable masks to your home. I would also like to notify the community that we recently, there was a recent appointment of our Wayne County Sheriff's seat. As you all know, I'm sure, our former Wayne County Sheriff Benny Napoleon passed away last month. Last week, a 3-panel board that consisted of our Wayne County Clerk Kathy Garrett, Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy, and also Judge Burton appointed Raphael Washington, better known as Ray Washington, as the new Wayne County Sheriff. He has more than 40 years of law enforcement, and he served in many capacities. And so Ray Washington is going to, or is now actually, the new Wayne County Sheriff. And I have had the pleasure of serving with the Wayne County Sheriff for the last 3 years as a Wayne County Reserve Sheriff Deputy. And I look forward to serving with Sheriff Washington going forward. No one will replace our beloved Sheriff Napoleon, but brighter days are ahead, and we look forward to working with him and supporting him. And that is it for me. I will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you for your support.
Thank you. Councilman Godbout.
Yeah, thanks. I would just like to thank Delano Hornbuckle for stepping up and willing to serve on the Planning Commission. Congratulations, and I'm sure you're going to do a great job, as well as congratulations and thanks to Gail Nicholson for continuing to serve on the library board. And that's all I have to say. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilwoman Rakowski.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to echo the sentiments of my colleagues and congratulate Delano Hornbuckle on his appointment to the Planning Commission, as well as Gail Nicholson's reappointment to our library board. Thank you both for your continued commitment to our community. The mayor touched on it, and I just wanted to second what he was speaking about with our Nankin Transit Authority. Unfortunately, we did lose 6 vehicles. It was attributed to a block heater malfunction. The buses don't have spark plugs, so those types of vehicles are charged overnight so that they can run. That was early Monday morning when the incident occurred, and thankfully, with the assistance of SMART, we were able to get 3 buses back in service very quickly. None of our service was interrupted. None of our seniors were left without transportation. So I wanted to commend both the Nankin Transit Authority and SMART, as well as our police and fire, from getting that situation controlled and moving forward swiftly. It's a great partnership, and it's an excellent amenity for our community as well as the surrounding communities. And with that, I'm done. So good night.
Thank you. Councilman McDermott.
Well, good evening. And I'd like to start out first by echoing the sentiments of my colleagues, thanking Gail Nicholson for her continued service on our library board. Had the chance to talk with a couple of the librarians over there, and it's, with the new library board and the work that, Gail and the team have put in over there, they're really moving the library forward. And we're really thankful for your commitment to the city, and so glad to see you reappointed. I'd like to thank my neighbor, Delano Hornbuckle, for his appointment to the Planning Commission and for his prior service on several different boards and commissions here in the city. So thank you to Delano, who also happens to live just a couple of doors down from me, and thank you for your service in working on the Planning Commission. I'd like to thank the Chief, Jeff DeGruzik, and the Police Department for their work during the Wayne County Holiday Light Fest. I know things got a little chaotic at times this year with the traffic situation over there, but I want to thank you again for the work you guys put in. I know a lot of overtime was put in there, managing the traffic flow and keeping everything smooth and as coordinated as possible for the Wayne County Light Fest. So thank you. Thanks to the PD for all the work that they did there. And then I wanted to just thank the mayor again on the Board of Ethics. I know that this is something that many of us on council over the last year and last couple of years, predating my time on council, and many residents have advocated for. So do want to thank the mayor and the administration for making that appointment again and filling the ethics board. I think that's something that we've all wanted, and we're glad to definitely see it filled. And then just want to thank the team at Plant Moran, Alicia and Austin for the presentation that they gave tonight with the city's audit and all the work that really goes into that audit year round. And certainly would be remiss if I didn't thank our budget director, Dan Block, and our finance director, Steve Smith, for all the hard work they put in each and every day here in the city, keeping our finances right and working with the team at Plant Moran to make sure that this was a smooth and transparent audit. So thank you to everybody at Plant Moran and also to Steve and Dan here in the city for all the work that you do. And as always, if anybody has any questions or concerns, you can reach out to me on my Facebook page at Councilman Mike McDermott, or you can call or text me directly at any time at 734-890-2146. And with that, I bid you all a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Next, we have Council President Pro Tem Michael Londo.
Thanks, President Hart. Thanks for everybody's comments tonight and for everyone that attended. Start off tonight. I want to thank and congratulate Carol McCarthy, Aaron and Alexis Green, and Matt Satella for their awards for the holiday decorating contest. Those pictures didn't do any justice. They didn't do any justice. If you drove by at some of those places, I mean, they look amazing. But hats off to them, but also hats off to all the residents out there that decorated this year. I think someone else mentioned it a few council meetings ago that it seemed like more people decorated this year more than ever. So it's really nice to see that, and thank you to those, and congratulations to them for their awards. Also, thank you and congratulations to Delano Hornbuckle and Gail Nicholson on your appointments or reappointments to the boards. We appreciate you stepping up to serve. The WLND MLK Day virtual celebration. What an incredible job by our talented team of producers. I just want to say thank you to them. It was great seeing a lot of the familiar faces from the past, seeing some photos of Richard LeBlanc with a mustache, and seeing some people without gray hair back in the old days. It was pretty neat to see. I really enjoyed it. I didn't attend some of those sessions back in the 90s or early 2000s, but it was really, really neat to see, again, a lot of those old faces. I mean, our first African-American director, or first DPS director, Kevin Buford, to see his face on there and hear his message was really nice. So thank you so much to WLND and your team. You guys did a fantastic job. If anybody hasn't seen it yet, I strongly encourage you to watch it. It's airing on WLND, on our YouTube page, and our Facebook page as well. While I always enjoy attending in person, I really enjoyed watching this virtual session yesterday morning. So thank you again. Also, I'd like to thank the audit team for the detailed information during our study session, and also our entire finance team for the hard work and dedication it takes to complete our annual audit. This year was obviously difficult due to the pandemic. They had to conduct the audit remotely this year, so we really appreciate all their hard work, and for our administration for having a clean audit or an unmodified opinion, as the mayor mentioned. It was mentioned earlier, but in case anybody didn't see it, I want to mention and thank North Brothers Ford for their $5,000 donation. Doug and Tom North over at North Brothers Ford have been a huge supporters of the city of Westland, and also obviously the youth assistance program. They actually have a member of one of their staff members serves on the board. I'm on there as well. So we appreciate the donation to the youth assistance program. Thank you. Couple more quick things. Congratulations to Lori Wilson and Michael Williams and thank you for your time serving on the Planning Commission. I watched the last Planning Commission. I watch all the Planning Commission meetings, but I watched the last one, and about the last 10 or 15 minutes or so was their colleagues kind of going back and forth, telling stories and saying goodbye. We're really going to miss them on the Planning Commission. Lori Wilson Commissioner Wilson, I'll say, was, I believe, the longest serving Planning Commission member. So I know she was pretty choked up and hearing a lot of the things from her colleagues. We're really going to miss her talent and experience. We're also going to miss Mike Williams as well. Boy, I think they both brought a lot to the table, but they'll bring those same skills to the Board of Ethics. So we appreciate them for that. And then lastly, I've had a few seniors contact me regarding the COVID-19 vaccine. And I just saw an update from the city recently from Wayne County. Seniors will be able to get their vaccine shots from their hospital systems. Your system may notify you directly on how to schedule for your shot. If you do not have a hospital system, ask someone you trust to help you find one that's right for you. Hospital systems in Wayne County consist of Beaumont Health, Detroit Medical Center, Henry Ford Health System, St. John's Ascension Health, St. Joseph Mercy Livonia, Trinity Health, Garden City Hospital as well. So please be patient. Like Mr. Fasson said, it's really important to get that shot so we can all move on from this pandemic. But while we wait, everyone stay safe, and thank you for your time and have a good evening.
Thank you. I'll begin my comments tonight by thanking Councilman Godbout for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And I have nothing else unique to say because the mayor and the attorney and everybody else took all my thunder. But the good news is that if you got to say it a couple times, it was pretty important. So to Gail and to Delano, congratulations on your appointment and reappointment to these boards. They're very important. You are two members of the community that continue to stand up and be involved, and that's really important. It's really necessary, and we're really grateful for everything you do. For the residents who won the decorating contest, my hat's off to you. I personally, I hate putting out Christmas lights up because that means I got to take them back down. So it's colder when you got to take them back down. But thank you for doing that. So you give Linda a reason to look at me cross-eyed every time we drive by your house and wonder why our lights aren't up. So, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And congratulations on being recognized for that. It was mentioned a couple times about WLND's work on the MLK recording. That was fantastic, and I know they put a lot of work into it. And I've told Craig at WLND, but Mayor, I'm telling you too, on behalf of the entire council, thank you, and thank to Craig for and all of WLND for all the hard work they did cutting and working and putting that together. I knew it took a lot of research, and I'd almost think it almost took more work than having a live ceremony for all the work they had to do and all the research they did. So it was really fantastic. So thank them again on behalf of the council. I would appreciate that. Again, also congratulations to, you heard it a couple times, our finance department, Steve and Dan, another unmodified opinion from Plant Moran. That's fantastic. It means at least they're doing things right. There are always areas for improving, but at least the books match and they're not hot. So that's always a good thing. So we're thankful for their continued work and being focused on kind of driving us in the right direction. Other than that, Nankin Transit. So yeah, that was really unfortunate that we did lose those buses over the weekend. As Councilwoman Orkowski, who serves on the commission, one of Westland's representatives, she was able to give us a little bit more update. But yeah, we lost 6 buses, but we're really fortunate that A, the building wasn't damaged. You know, I mean, well, A, nobody was hurt, right? B, we didn't suffer any real damage to the actual building, and trucks can be replaced, people can't. And thankfully, ridership was down a little bit, like we heard, so nobody's missing rides. So Smart stepped up, delivered some buses, and I'm sure over some time we'll be getting some new buses. I'm sure MMRMA is really thrilled about this whole incident, so they'll be able to work with us to get these replaced. But with that too, at the fire, Chief Stradner, I want to thank your team. They did not have a good day that day when the bus was on fire. I know they had to respond to a couple other incidents that day. So they were really busy. So thanks to the fire department for working really hard, not only during the blaze and putting them out, but all of the after work that they have to do to kind of investigate the fires that they had to deal with. So thank you to your team for all the work that they did. It's not an easy job. You know what I'm talking about. So my hat's off to them, and thank you for everything that they do. And with that, to all my colleagues, thank you for a good evening, good professional, productive meeting. It makes a huge difference. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Support.
Thank you. Good evening.